Everyone's in tears, everyone's shaken. And what do we have to do? Go out and do another official engagement. Even though I am certain this story is 100% made up and yet another one of Meghan Markle's lies, but let's say it's true. How many people lost their loved ones during the pandemic? How many people lose their babies in Africa through crime, disease and hunger and have to go back to work the next day? Because otherwise they cannot afford to pay for food and bills. Meghan is complaining that she had to do another engagement? This woman is totally oblivious to reality! Nauseating human being. Spotify, shame on you. The Duchess of Sussex relived the heart-wrenching moment she was told the news on the long-awaited first episode of her podcast, which was released today, Tuesday. She described how the incident had left helpers shaken and in tears. She added, "As a mother, you go, oh, my God, what?" Speaking to friend and tennis star Serena Williams on Archetypes, Meghan explained she had been visiting Nyanga, a predominantly black suburb of Cape Town, with Prince Harry in 2019. Meghan said, "The moment we landed, we had to drop Archie off at this housing unit that they had us staying in. He was going to get ready to go down for his nap. Hopefully next week, aliens kidnap Sparkles for experimentation. Lilibet is found to be a cushion after all, and Archie surrogate comes out in the open and admits it was all done with smoke and mirrors and a gagging order and lots of dollars paid for with funds stolen from some UK charity. If the story was true, it would have made headlines in all the UK newspapers at the time. I bet this is a trial balloon that Meghan Markle throws to the press to test the public gullibility. If it works, we can expect many more of these stories out of the bush and right into the underground, with the Duchess. We immediately went to an official engagement in this township called Nyanga, and there was this moment where I'm standing on a tree stump and I'm giving this speech to women and girls." The Duchess continued, "We finished the engagement, we get in the car and they say there's been a fire at the residence. There's been a fire in the baby's room. We get back, and our amazing nanny Lauren is in floods of tears. She was supposed to put Archie down for his nap and she just said, 'You know what? Let me just go get a snack downstairs.'" She added, "In that amount of time that she went downstairs, the heater in the nursery caught on fire. There was no smoke detector. Someone happened to just smell smoke down the hallway, went in, fire extinguished. He was supposed to be sleeping in there." The eventful September trip was the first the couple had shared since the birth of Archie Harrison and saw the Duke and Duchess meet anti-apartheid activist Bishop Desmond Tutu. "Not that I believe this story in any way, but it just doesn't add up. The baby wasn't even in the room for a start. Why would everyone be crying over it? You're in Africa in summer, so why would there be a heater on in the first place? And if any of this was true, we would have heard about it at the time. This is just another of her stories where she gets to play victim. Tedious." Their visit to Nyanga was to meet with the Justice Desk, a group that teaches self-defense and empowerment to vulnerable children, many of whom have suffered trauma. Meghan told Ms. Williams, "As a mother, you go, oh, my God, what? Everyone's in tears, everyone's shaken. And what do we have to do? Go out and do another official engagement." The Duchess recounted asking if they could tell people what had happened, but they decided not to as the focus ends up being on how it looks instead of how it feels. She said, "Part of the humanizing and the breaking through of these labels and these archetypes and these boxes that we're put into is having some understanding on the human moments behind the scenes that people might not have any awareness of, and to give each other a break." She's left him with a trained nanny, in a safe space, and the heater catches fire. Sorry, don't believe it. If it was true, she would have spoken about it by now. That's the trouble, if you tell untruths, people tend not to believe a word you say. She just wants content. In a survivor, one of the last people over the wall before the stand collapsed, of the Bradford City football fire disaster on May 11, 1985, "I saved 4 women's life that day to save myself. So in the light of that experience, I can say that this endlessly self-promoting narcissist doesn't a clue about what a real fire entails. Her story is just tittle-tattle to fill an otherwise nothing to say podcast time," Meghan Markle disgusts me. And yet another thing I don't believe, like the suicidal thoughts and the miscarriage thought she went over there on royal business but nothing was said about a fire in Archie's room. That would have been rumored about at the very least and we got nothing. She never learns. Heater catching fire. When Meghan's only wore summer muumuus the whole time she was in South Africa. In fact, very in royal spaghetti strapped long dresses. One could see how hot and humid it was. Same with Harry boy. And now, there was a heater in the baby's room that caught fire. Supposedly the said Sprague was not even in tea room? More top LL tales. Let's face it, if this really happened, it would have been reported in actual South African news reports when it happened, so we can forget this sob tale. Just another lie to throw at the royals. The palace. Nothing more. Another rubbish at how nasty the royals were. And how hard she worked. Please. According to a mole father South Africa. She was seen in high-end stores shopping till she dropped. Seen at high-end restos slurping cocktails until she was unsteady on her feet. And guzzling gourmet meals, all at Prince Charles' expense, of course. The Duchy of Cornwall. She's been proven to be such a serial liar. Once saw an article on how Meghan stays happy with meditation learned from a guy called Light, long before she met H. Her story of later being so desperate and not wanting to live in melodrama of H having to hold her until she fell asleep because of the royal family came after. Maybe she's read somewhere that Diana said whatever suited her at the time and following in her footsteps makes her more endearing to H, but unlike Diana, Meghan is completely vicious, vindictive and is a total narcissist. Like lots say in their comments below. Not just this fire story but her miscarriage was also made up just for the poor me effect. Very sad that H imported her into his family and now he himself has joined her to try and destroy those who loved and supported him. I understand it was her father who had a near-death experience. She's reinventing this so it's all about her. She still hasn't visited her dad or taken Prince Dumlet to meet him either. They preach about forgiveness and humanity which they know nothing about. More Meghan Markle lies. Archie was downstairs, fire was upstairs. She just can't help herself. Read the Tom Bower biography Revenge. He calls Meghan out about her lies on almost every page of the book, starting with the Procter & Gamble tale which he thoroughly debunks.